Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let me go ahead and give a brief little review. In the last part, we had a number of events happening. Now, Deku, him and Kimi, they were called to Tsunade's office, where the man went over a few things with them. Right now, he does like what they've been doing. They thwarted assassination attempts on their own life. Deku and Shinso brought in prisoners who were interrogated for quite a bit of information. And Gran Torino, whenever he did kick in the door, he gave Deku a necklace made from the teeth of the White Fang mercenary leader, a man who had two quirks. Now, Deku, other than being quite alarmed by this, was confused as to who this man was. It was only after Tsunade was able to gain back control of the situation did he have a bit of an issue. Gran Torino was under the suspicion that she may have known the secret Deku has, and he was wrong. Happy the kid passed that one little test he had to begin with. And Tsunade, he told Deku, well, in no uncertain terms, to be careful about who he does trust. They told Kami a fake secret, that All Might was Deku's father. Then, Deku went to go see Midnight and Recovery Girl about information and things that can help out Bakugo on their current mission. Then, they gathered together a team and went to the Badlands in order to save Bakugo. Toru is on that team, and she does currently plan to sneak into the headquarters, find Bakugo, verify he's alive, and hopefully try to get him out of there. If she does need backup, she'll get backup. As for a distraction, Deku is currently that distraction. He is still not happy that someone decided to send an attack so close to Yagi family territory, let alone in the headquarters city. Someone was close to his home, and he doesn't like that. The fact is, if they decided to launch an attack at his house, it could have injured people he once kept safe. They may have targeted his mother. They may have targeted him. And they might have tried to step onto his property and break that safety net he believes to be there. And right now, Deku does not like that. Currently, everyone, a part of the White Fangs, got eyes on Deku. And Deku made himself the clearest target in the night that they could see. He walked right up to them and currently does stand there. Toru has already ran inside. And Deku, he currently does go to wait. People do start to stare at him. It's only after the lightning does go to surround him and he does go to start rushing forwards that they do begin to turn their heads and go to stare. Right now, one man going to bring up his weapon and start firing at Deku. Another man doing something similar. A third and fourth going to join in. And Deku, he does it a run-in, using Danger Sense to avoid as much fire as he can, and hoping to just draw attention for now. Right now, people do come spewing out of the warehouse. A man running out and beginning to yell orders. Right now they're under attack, and they're not sure who it is. All they're aware of is it might be the Yagi family and it may not be. The boss was taken down and no word was brought back to them. And that's all they do know. Deku hearing chatter from their radios as others, they are going to fire at him, either with quirks or guns. Right now a man saying blades flying at Deku as Deku, he does go to evade, bringing his hand up and coming in with a quick slash of his arm. Right now, the man having his chest spewing with blood as Deku, he does go to leap upwards into the air, bring his hands up and going to clap as his hands are flying backwards and go to turn, throwing at his leg and going to kick it hard and go to leap forwards. Him crashing the ground and going to land hard, ready to get moving. And two people do come rushing at him. Right now, one, they do go to fly forwards on a set of wings. Deku bringing his hands up and getting ready. Danger Sense going off behind him as he does a spin and throw his leg out. Right now, the kick going to land directly into someone. As they do, go to block the attack with their hardened body. And he does go to throw his fist outwards, crashing directly in the chest. Them going to be sent flying backwards and sliding. Right now, them going to turn, as Deku, he does have a person throw their beak out to try and attack him. And he does go to feel Danger Sense go off, throwing his hands out and going to smack their beak away at 30% of One For All, turning and going to bring his hands up to block an attack that does come flying at him. The person flap their wings and arcs of air do come towards Deku. Deku bringing his hands up and going to defend. They do start to crash into him. The person flapping their wings relentlessly, as another person, they do go to throw their hands out. And they do start to cover the ground in ink. And Deku, he does see that. Him looking around and trying to figure out about what he can do. Right now, he just needs to keep them distracted. Albeit, take them down. That's better. And a person does come rushing towards Deku. Them roaring out in anger about how he took out their boss. And right now, Deku, he does go to leap up into the air. The person with the wings flapping out strikes towards Deku. And Deku does bring his hands up, meeting them with a powerful thunderclap. Before he does watch the arcs of air do come towards him again. This time, him throwing his hands up and behind him, flicking the air and sending himself propelling forwards. And he does get ready, charging up One For All up to 35%. And right now he does go to throw his body weight forwards and begin to come down. Him flying directly at the person and crashing them down directly into the shoulder. Him setting down a powerful sledgehammer that does go to take them down. On the person with the wings, they're down. Him turning and going to be met by someone who does let out a powerful breath. Deku alarmed at the smell that does go to hit his nose. And someone, they do come rushing forwards. Right now, them going to slash their claws out at Deku as ink does go to cover his legs. And he does a turn looking at that before Danger Sense did go off and alert him. He tried to suck in a powerful breath, though there was where that smell, it still lingered in the air. He tried to retreat, tried to get out of its sphere of influence. But that didn't exactly work. And there was where the metal around him, it did try to raise up into the air and somewhat come off of the metal platform to constrict around him. Him moving backwards and going to slide through some of the ink. The person with tiger claws rushing at Deku and slashing out at his arms. Him bringing them to defend as he does to plant himself down. And when the person does a slash against Deku's forearms, he does go to bring his foot down and smash it down at 40% of One For All. Him feeling a little overwhelmed. Danger Sense going off as he's a leap up into the air and go to move fast, quickly. And right now, he does go to float there in the air as he does start to come back down, thinking about what to do. He thought he could feel the ground giving way. Right now, Danger Sense going off, him looking up as metal shards of the platform do come flying towards him. And he isn't sure about what to do. Right now, he just needs someone going to set off Danger Sense as he does go to try looking at a man. A spear flying towards him as he does go to throw his hand up and go to flick. Right now, him moving through the air to the left as the person, they do start to kick off the metal shards as if they were Mirako. And the man does roar out in anger. His body does begin to be covered in a red-like aura. And he does a roar about how he took down the damn boss. And Deku, he does go to throw a powerful smash as the man does take the blow. Him throwing a punch out and smashing Deku in the face. Him throwing another hit out and grabbing him by his battlesuit as he and Deku do start to fall down. Right now, Deku being smashed into one of the metal walls that have been elevated. And Deku does a push off, grabbing at the person who does go flying backwards. The two crashing on another metal wall as the person, they do try to gain more momentum on Deku. And Deku, he does try to think about how to handle this guy. He's angry. He's pissed, right? Along with that, he does have needle marks in his neck. They look aggravated, and one's still bleeding. Shit, he might be on an enhancer. That thought went through Deku's mind as he's kicked across the battlefield and sent flying into the dirt. Him rolling around it and going to land, getting back to his feet and trying to think about what to do. These guys are strong. Are they all on enhancers? No, maybe. Okay, he just needs to stay at 30%. Shoot up to 40 when he does need to. Right. No, not that. He needs to come up with a different strategy. Him dodging out of the way of multiple attacks. Metal shards flying through the air. The person with a beak trying to chase after Deku and someone bringing up their hand. Right now, snakes flying through the air and trying to wrap around him. Right now, someone going to throw their hand up and go to fire off metallic shards. And Deku, he does go to throw his hand up, trying to get away from the attack as one of the snakes, they do to grab onto Deku, wrapping around his forearm and going to bare their fangs. Him going to fly to the right as he does a turn, battering his arm directly into the wall, smashing the snake and crushing it partially. And he does pull his arm away as the person does come running towards him, full of wrath and rage. Right now, them smashing the Deku as they throw their arms down and try to hit him hard. Deku throwing his hands up and going to counter their own strike. Him throwing up his leg and crashing his knee into their stomach. And they do to meet Deku's attack with their own. And they do to grin, roaring out, angry and pissed. And Deku, he does stare at the person. He can feel their strength overwhelming his. They're angry he's matching them? Maybe. But how does that work? Strength to rage? No, his quirk responds to rage? Maybe, but he needs to figure this all out. Okay, 35%. Him moving up. And whenever he does go to push backwards against his strength, he does go to elevate his power more, 40%, begin to overpower them. And he does go to move up just a little bit more, 45. He can feel his bones creaking. Him pushing them back and throwing out a powerful strike. Him going to hit them directly in the chest and send them flying backwards and through the battlefield. Them crashing against the ground and rolling. Everyone blasting their attacks all at Deku. Two people moving in as Deku does focus on trying to evade the metal shards. He does try to focus on getting around the people. The person with the beak ability, they do come in. Right now, throwing out a powerful peck that does go to hit Deku directly in the shoulder when he tried to block the guy with the tiger talons. And there was where the guy with the inkjet ability, he kept trying to blast Deku. Deku, he kept trying to look and focus on his footwork. But that was the problem he was having. The guy with the smoke cloud, he then began to bellow out his rancid breath. A mixture of rotten eggs and some sort of rotten onion. Then again, he's fairly certain a garbage dump would smell like a daisy compared to what the hell is going through his sinuses. And it makes him feel violated. That odor, so pungent. Right now, blood flowing down Deku's forearms, and his shoulder does get a hurt. him turning and sending a full power strike directly into that person. And he does that turn, throwing up his left leg and kicking outwards, slashing at all of them. And it does go to hit the guy who does try to block the attack. Him feeling his arms creak as he does throw his foot up. Him gonna bring his right leg down and hard down onto the person's shoulder blade. The man with the rage ability coming back at Deku. Deku turning and trying to keep his footwork from slipping, trying to keep himself on his feet and stable. Though, he does have to say, a grin plastered on his own damn face. He does feel good. He does feel fine. He does feel alive. Though, they're beginning to overwhelm him. Getting a closer look at all of them, they're all on fucking trigger. Then again, him turning and dodging a bullet. And the person, they do to stare at Deku as his eyes do to meet theirs, turning back to their boss and going to bring his arm up, rushing forwards and going to meet their own attack. His left arm. Right. Maybe? No. He can't go at full power. Will he bring down the building? Maybe not. Though, that's too big of a risk. Okay. He wants to throw around power. He'll throw around power. He'll make sure he knows what power is. And Deku, he does go to come in with a powerful uppercut directly to the person's chest. And when that doesn't happen, he has to send them flying up into the air, him leaping upwards after them. And right now Deku does move up fast and quickly, for he's bring his hand up and throw a punch through the air. The air pressure countering his movement as Deku does start to fall. Him going to finger flick quickly and go to start coming down the man. And he does go to borrow a move from Mirko, throwing out his foot and beginning to spin quickly, coming down and slashing down into this man's torso, covering him with a lunar slice. And this, Deku does strike him with. The man flying backwards and towards the ground, but Deku does chase and come in quickly, throwing out his feet and going to land hard against the man. Whenever he does come in, he does feel his chest cave. And right now Deku, he does go to stand there, as he has a huff and puff breath, turning to look around. And these people are still after him. These people are still coming for him. Though he does see another squad of people. And it does gonna make him grin a little manically. A small laugh coming up from his damn throat. This is great. This is amazing. It's battle. It's bloody. It's incredible. It's just like fighting Mirko. No, it's better. He can go all out. He can kill them. Take them all down. They're nothing. They can't be anything. They're mercenaries. And he does hear a voice. You're outnumbered. You're not going to make it. Quite simply, it's too much for even you. Bullets flying through the air. And Deku, he does evade, dodging. His arms are covered in blood. They're covered in scratches. And he's not sure if they've gotten Baku out. How long has it been now? 10 minutes? 15? He's not sure. If they got Bakugo out, that is a pretty good indicator. But then again, he's not sure what else they could really do. Him looking around as his feet do go to land. Him sliding as Danger Sense does go off. Him looking up and going to perceive something in slow motion. Someone's coming right at him. There's a bullet flying past his head. And he does get to see someone trying to get into the battle. Trying to wave and wave for his attention. It's Kimi. And the person standing next to her. It's, well, Bakugo. But he's covered in fire? No, he's covered in some sort of bright light, and the smoke around her. It's trying to get his attention. Right. But he's got bigger attention to deal with. The person behind Deku throwing down their hand, trying to swipe at their head with their ability. And Deku, he does have a lot running through his mind, a lot going through him. Danger Sense is blaring loud and hard. It's been going off over and over and over again. But right now is something else. Right now is something better. Right now, he does go to leap into the air. A slash going to strike in the back of his thigh as Deku does go to roar. And when he does find himself up in the air, he does go to look back down, trying to figure out what to do. He doesn't have his marbles. Him throwing his hands out and trying to send finger flicks at everybody. And the rapid burst of attacks due to strike down, hitting the earth, hitting the people down there. Gunfire coming up and at Deku. People blast their quirks and metal shards coming right at him. Deku holding out both of his hands. Right now, he needs to make a decision. Take out the guy with the metal quirk? Maybe. He already took out the guy with the wings. The guy with the breath and the beak are still up and running. The guy with the rage quirk he got down. How long does that make them? 2 out of 5? No, 2 out of 7? No. Now, the 7 guys have the quirks. 2 of them are down, and hell, there's 9 guys trying to fire on him. That's too many. Too damn many. And they're wearing him down. Right now, Deku, he does go to throw his hands up and go to send out a powerful clap, trying to disperse all the attacks coming right at him. And there's where Deku, he does go to land. Right now, him going to land a little hard as his foot does go to come out from underneath him. Him slipping and Danger Sense going off. An attack finding itself with a metal shard lodged in his leg. And he does overwrought in pain. Before a gunshot does fire out in Deku, he does try to dodge. Right now, it smashing into his side as his armor does take it. Though the echo of pain and force does go through his body. And right now, he does go to rush forwards. Right now, him heading directly in to the building. Him flying through the air and crashing through the wall. As he does try to think. Looking around. And he does a shout, "Toro!" Not getting a response. And that's good. Right now, him bending down and grabbing the metal shard. Powering himself up and crushing it. Him turning and going to wait. And whenever someone does come running into the building, he does go to throw the shard as hard as he can. It flying through the air and going to miss the target. Though the person, they do try to bring their hand up and slow it down. Trying to send it back at Deku. And Deku, he thinks that it's safe. He's fairly certain that they got Bakugo out. And that is good. That is what Danger Sense gonna go off. Deku going to turn and go to leap out of the way. Throwing his foot down and bursting forwards at 40%. Right now, him coming in as there is the ground, it does go to shift and go to move. Right now, it's coming up from underneath him. And Deku, he does go to turn, looking around, he does a fly backwards up into the air. Currently going to hover in the air as he's backing away. Now, he does start to fall, trying to look around and figure out what the hell is going on. More of these guys have quirks? No, something else is happening, right? Maybe? Okay, he's being overwhelmed. This really is not good. Him going to land and turn, seeing another group of people that have come in. In this, it does go to make himself growl under his breath, annoyed. More fucking quirk users. He never thought he'd be tired of dealing with them. But they just keep coming. He needs to take them out. Kill them. Kill them all. If another one of them tries to come to his house, then that is that. Lightning pouring from Deku's eyes. And he does it burst forwards, running directly at one of them. And one does go to turn and see Deku, bringing up their hands as earth from underneath them does a shoot up, making a wall. Deku throwing a left hook, punching through it. Another wall, punching through with his right. Left, right. Punching through another one and coming right to the person. Throwing his hand out as they've covered themselves in some sort of earth-like armor. And when he does that throw a smash, he does it to catch them with his left hand. Them going to have the armor burst underneath his strike. And they do to slide backwards, trying to keep themselves up. Right now they're bleeding heavily. And their body is shaking, bringing their hand up and blasting out Earth shards to hit Deku. Him trying to dodge and evade as metal shards to come flying through the air. And he does a turn. Right now, going to watch as the ground underneath him does a spark and light. Him going to move backwards, annoyed, throwing himself backwards and into the air. And when this is going to happen, he does going to land on the metal platform, as when he does, something just goes shooting up and directly into his foot. Him going to roar out as he's trying to pull backwards, and his foot doesn't follow. Him going to look down and find that his foot is caught. Throwing power down to his leg and leaping upwards hard. And this, it does go to force the bent metal to move straight when he does it, a leap straight upwards. Him going to feel blood pulling off of his foot. And right now, there is where Deku, he does try to re-strategize. Try and think. Someone bouncing through the air and coming right towards him. Him going to turn and meet their attack with his own strike. And when he does get a strikeout punching at them, they do go to be sent flying away and smash into the concrete wall. Him going to try and think. Concrete is a rock. The metal inside is metal. Shit. He's in a giant cage. These people have him cornered, don't they? Though, there is another problem with that. Him watching as someone does inject trigger into themselves. And he's trying to remember what their quirk is. As the ink covered in flame does a shoot up and go to fly out towards him. His clothes are covered in the stuff. If he lights, that could be bad. That could really, really be bad. And he does try to back away. Him trying to finger flick in the air and keep himself off of the ground. Though this game of cat and mouse isn't exactly too good. Bakugo can't be in the building, so he can go all out. He can actually go all out. Maybe going to bring himself up and go to throw down a powerful kick, smashing directly into the ground. And when he does, the wind pressure does going to blow away a lot of the fire. Him going to stand and begin to turn, rushing right at the person with the metal quirk. And when he does go rushing towards them, he does go to watch them bring the metal shards up and try to form a shield in front of him. Deku going to throw his hand outwards and smash into it. Then when the shield does go to punch and break underneath his fist, it does a shoot out, smashing into his arm. Deku roaring out in pain as it does a follow through and try to just go. Deku going to punch his hand through and reaching upwards, grabbing something and twisting. And there is where the metal, it does go to fall. Deku bringing his hand back and going to pull the metal out of his arm, breaking it off and going to leave it to close the wound. He'll have to get that dealt with. Turning and looking around. Now, that's 3 down. The ink guy, he could be another problem. Then again, he's winded. His leg is still injured. His side hurts. Damn it. Same shoulder as the beak guy, too. Fuck. He's bleeding. Bring his hand up to his head. He got cut by the eye? Shit. How did he not notice? Okay, no, he's fine. Looking around, and everyone around Deku, they do seem to be wary. That one guy who bounces, he was small. He hasn't come back yet. Maybe that's 4 then. Okay, that's good. Good job, kid. Good job, Izuku. Deku, hearing those voices run through his mind. And right now, he does go to pant, winded, trying to figure out exactly how to deal with all of them, how to take them all out. And there's where Kirishima does come bursting through the wall. Him roaring out about backup arriving. And Deku does a turn and see him, quite annoyed, bringing up his hand. The moment he does try to think about what to do. Kirishima coming here could be a boon. But there are the facts they do have to face. Right now, someone spinning to him and going to fire out a weapon. And Deku, he does go to try and think about the situation, how to handle it, what to do. A voice telling him just to move and act, not to hesitate. And he does go to roar out for them to shut up internally. Going to move and step forwards, rushing in and going to throw his hands out, crashing into one of the people. Them turning and swiping their claws out at Deku. And Deku does it back away. Them bringing their foot up and going to use the claws on them. Going to slash out towards him with their feet as Deku does bring his hand up and go to pull them in. The person punches Deku across the face as they do to pull their claws back and go to try and slash out. Right now, Deku, he does, however, go to attack. Him punching them across the face and going to watch their jaw pop and click. As he does bring his other hand up and crash them across the face again. Him hearing another pop as he does go to turn. Throwing his hand up and going to send out air slashes directly at everybody here. And they do begin to start falling. Some, however, they do get a turn and look at their comrades. And there is Kirishima. Kirishima does see the battle-worn Deku. He does have this look on his face, and he's grinning. He's smiling. Holy fucking shit, that dude is scary. The blood off of his face, the lightning from his eyes. I mean, hell, his shoulder's been impaled. But he's so battle crazed he doesn't recognize it. I mean, shit, is that blood or what's on his clothes? And right now there is where someone, they do to fire something to kick Kirishima. It going off on him as he's sent flying through the air and blasting backwards, crashing the ground as someone does a turn, throwing a grenade and going to throw it out at Deku. The ground being covered in ink as it does a swirl around. And Deku does bring his hands up, rushing forwards and going to grab the grenade. Going to throw it back as whenever it does blow up, it does go to blow up with ink. Right now him, alarmed as there's a fly out towards him and try to wrap him up. Deku going to throw his hands upwards and going to blast himself backwards as he does a slide on the oil. Right now, him trying to think about what to do. And there is where someone is fire out a missile towards Deku. Deku staring at that as he does bring his hand up. And he does get ready to flick as Black Whip does a fire out of his arm. And right now, it does go to fly forwards and smash into the missile. Blowing up as Deku, he does go to grab out toward his left arm and roar out in pain as the muscle fibers, they do go to rip and tear. Black Whip is hurting him. Though, there is the fact that Deku, he does go to watch it fly out and smash and slash. It is dangerous. And right now Kirishima, he does go to try and get back to his feet. Everyone, they do a turn looking at Deku. And Deku, he does go to hold on to his left arm, trying to aim this ability, trying to focus it. He can't understand what the hell is happening. Another quirk now of all fucking times? And it does mean a bit. Someone firing on a gun towards Deku as he does a turn and try to dodge it. However, it does a smash on his thigh as the bullet, it does go to penetrate. Him going to yell out in pain and falling down to a knee. And the quirk, it does go to rip Deku up in the air as he does go to watch the tendrils fly out and crash into that person. Two of them going to smash into their chest and nearly bisect them. But the way that they do the tear isn't exactly clean. And Kirishima does a stare on wide-eyed. Deku turning and yelling at him to run! And Kirishima, he does stick around. Him going to watch his people, they do try to evade, run and retreat. This guy's insane. This guy's crazy. Another quirk? Fucking hell. They couldn't beat him with one. He was taking them on, he took out the boss, he took out the other guys, and fucking hell, the backup they called, the backup was starting to lose. Maybe they could have worn him down, but not now. Not now of all times. And it does mean a bit. Deku flying through the air and crashing into the ceiling, coming back down as the ability is to drag him away, flying him around the building and around the room. It tearing apart and ripping into everyone it can. Kirishima is not spared by the attacks. One of the whips coming towards him as he does it harden and harden and harden. He does feel it smash on his chest, seeing him flying backwards and crashing into a concrete pillar. It's going to hurt as Deku, he does that turn, trying to gain control of the ability. Pull it back. Pull it back. Come on, damn it. Right now, him going to finally fly through the window and crash into the building. As he does going to be sent unceremoniously, dumped on the ground, and going to lay there for a second. Bringing his right arm up and grabbing his left, trying to stop it. Pull it back. He doesn't have control. Come on, damn it. This is a quirk, right? It comes from his body. He has control. If it's going to be his power, then he has control, damn it. Just listen to him. And the ability, it does start to pull back. Right now the tendrils ripping through the building and trying to retract back into Deku. And when they do to finally do so, Deku, he does go to lay there for a second. Right now him breathing quite heavily. And he does attempt to sit back up. It's bad. Him going to sit there as something does a fly through the air in danger sense does go off. It going to smash on his neck as people do to run past him. And Deku, he does try to move. Though he can't. He can't move his body. No. Danger sense won't turn off. Why? Come on. Move. Damn it. Move. He needs to move. Just move. Someone walking over and bending down, informing him, well now, isn't this something? A mercenary attacking the White Fangs. Now that is gunfire going off. Quite interesting. Who are you? I wouldn't talk. Muscles, yeah. They'll be paralyzed for a little bit of time. Gotta say though, powerful ability. You might be a dual quirk wielder, huh? You're rare. Very rare. Though you took on the White Fangs. Bravo, bravo. You might want to make sure you understand. We've been trying to deal with these bastards for a little bit of time. I don't know what they did to piss in your cereal, but I'm kind of glad that you're here. Him turning and going to wave two people over, talking about it. Get him collared. Now. The moment that thing comes out, he will have movement again. It might take a couple minutes for it to wear off, but it will be a thing they have to deal with soon. Take him back to base and get him put on the market. Make sure to get a high price for him. Let them know. That necklace is his reward. And Deku, he's dragged away. He doesn't hear gunfire kick up again, and a conflict start all over. Right now, a new mercenary team coming in to try and finish off the White Fangs. Knowing that they're weak, knowing that right now they aren't exactly in the best condition for a attack by a rival or an enemy. And this, it does mean a bit. Deku, he's collared and knocked out. Then after that, there is where he does gonna wake up some time later. He finds himself in a room. There's some sort of muzzle covering his mouth. A metal muzzle. He can't talk. They wouldn't hear him at least. And he does try to vocalize, but it's muffled. His hands are bound. Metal restraints. And the weight, it's tied to the floor. Along with that, there's a collar around his neck. And, no, those are needles. There's needles in his neck. That's not good. He's awake. Deku turning his head and looking over to someone. And there is where they do get to talk about it. The boss was quite adamant about him. Dual quirk. Genetic? No, I didn't think you'd answer my question. Anyways. Listen, here's the situation. After the building went down, things didn't go well for the White Fangs. We don't know who you are, but we have a bit of an offer for you. Either go to the market or join up with us. How does that sound? Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a good offer. But we'll unmuzzle you in a minute. The door going to open and creak. And the person who does it will walk inside. They're going to make their way over and talk about it. So, has he been informed? He's been given the offer too. You are shit at talking to people, dude. I am blunt, not shit. I don't care who you two are. You've made a very big mistake. The person backhanding Deku. And Deku, he's quite surprised at being smacked like that. Turning and going to glare talking about it. He's a member of the goddamn Yagi family. Do they know what that means? You're lying. I'm not. Contact the Yagi family. My name is Izuku Midoriya. And I'm a specialist. Yeah, kid. Good for you. I'm a fucking samurai. Listen. We don't care who you are, whatever you're claiming to be. We all have heard of Izuku fucking Midoriya, and you're not him. Yeah, I heard he's taller. Bigger, too. Fuck you. The person smacking him across the face. And Deku, he does get a grin and go to rush forwards, the chains stopping him as his arms are pulled almost underneath him. And the person does go to talk about it. Right. So what's his offer? What exactly is he going to do? If he's going to do anything, he should probably try, right? Though he has tried. What did you do to me? I can't use my quirk. Either one? Yeah. That little collar there should stop you from doing anything. Either you join us and we take it off, you swear allegiance to us, you go through initiation, or, and I do mean or, we sell you to the market. We'll get quite a bid off of you. Fuck you. Open a dialogue with the Yagi family. Kid, anyone who approaches them doesn't typically have good news for them. Besides, if we went ahead and tell them if what you're saying is true, that we bound you, collared you, and I would say over here treating you like a little bitch, what exactly do you think they're going to do to me? I know what Midnight would do to you. Yeah. That bitch gives me the heebie-jeebies. You know, I heard that her ex-boyfriend, he pissed her off a little too much. And she's got it mounted on her wall, man. I heard that part. Deku ignoring their conversation. Open a dialogue with them now. No. If what you're saying is true, we're fucked. If what you're saying isn't true, we're not really going to deal with much consequences. If you don't talk to them now, what will come down on you is going to be way worse. Whenever they know who you are. I doubt that. Listen, we don't care who you are, where you come from, all that. Right now, we're going to go ahead and take you away. You don't seem to want to join us. That's a shame, though. You're powerful. Out here, you could live like a king. It's a pretty big city. Take control of a good portion of it. Come on. It's a good deal. The bosses don't care about this old shithole, but we still make it work. I doubt that. Where do you get the food? Where do you get anything? See, kid, that's the thing. We have our ways to get by. Now, go ahead and just listen to me now. And that will be that. You won't have any more problems. Deku glaring at the man, but he does it to comply. His muscles are screaming at him, along with the fact that his injuries don't feel too well. He'll comply for right now. They're suppressing his quirk with something. And that isn't good. The needles in his collar. That means that there's some sort of liquid in it, right? Some sort of chemical agent? He needs to destroy it whenever he can. Then again, that might be why his hands are chained. He'll need to find an opportunity at some point. And Deku, he is taken away. They do to load him into the back of a truck and go to drive off. Right now, taking him to the other side of the city and going to talk to a few people. Money does exchange hands, and Deku, he does find himself tossed into another trunk after he does get to hear about their plans for him and what they do intend to do. They'll look after his injuries the first time. Hopefully, then they can get some money out of him. The kid is, 15, 16 years old? He looks to be pretty strong, muscular even, and he does appear to have quite a little bit of a resume. A good fighter. A very good fighter. They're hoping that he'll provide some very good entertainment to some people in the underground. If he does, that's all the better. He'll get some warm food and a place to sleep. If he performs well, he can get many, many things in this world. Maybe not his freedom, but many things. And that, it is an issue. Kami and the group, they had their own problems. Whenever Deku had Kirishima come in for backup, there was an issue. Kirishima talked about the weird thing that happened. He wasn't sure what it was or exactly what the hell happened, but it's all a bit hazy to him, fuzzy. The gunfight started and Deku had something happen. And then those people showed up and shortly afterwards the building came down. I mean, shit, those guys nearly got him. They nearly got Kami and Kendo too. They called Mr. Aizawa. And the man, he was not happy to report to Sir Night-Eye exactly what they told him. Kirishima was in the building when the gunfight started. He took quite a bit of damage, but overall he was fine. They managed to get Bakugo out of there, but Deku was last seen flying through a wall. And the building came down. No one saw him inside, but whenever they did start to push these people back, they didn't exactly see him around. And that is not good. A mercenary team may have thought Deku was easy pickings, or he might have just been another mercenary, trying to make a name for himself and who may have gotten a little overzealous, in over his head. He was injured, he was weakened, and he was easy pickings. But that's the part he doesn't like. If Deku was taken in by these mercenaries, they've got to figure this all out. Track him down. Sir Night-Eye, he was not happy to get this information, and he did make it quite clear to the members of the family about what they want. He brought Kami in to use his quirk on, and when people heard that he was doing that, it started to draw quite a bit of attention in from the family. Right now, the top 5, they know. Kami had another private meeting with the boss. She debriefed him, told him about what happened, and reported on it herself. The man, he told her what he was going to do. He is going to look into her future and see about what happens when Deku does return. When they find him. Whatever may happen and whatever the results may be. It does mean much. And he does get to look directly at her, beginning to look into the future and seeing quite a number of things. Days pass. The search does go on. He does get to watch Kami fear, fret, concern, cry, and search. Things do begin to go a little downhill. Not much headway does go down. At some point, they do get information. At some point, looking through her memories, he does get to see Deku pop up again. They find him, but there's a look on his face, the way his eyes look. And there is something about him that has definitely changed. Be it his attitude, his body movement, whatever it may be. The young man may not be the same when they find him. And that's something that he does not like. They need a search. Fast. Right now, he's in the Badlands closest to them. They can put out something for these people to let them know. Tell them about what they're searching for. But he needs to get this quiet. He needs to keep things on the down low. If he does attempt to make this too public, it will get to the other families. And that's something he doesn't really want. In Kimi's memories, no, in her future, he saw a war. Not only that, he saw something impossible. But then again, he is the impossible. What he saw was impossible. He saw Deku facing off against a powerful enemy. I mean, they have a fire quirk, and he's fairly certain it may be Endeavor. The man's powered up and using multiple quirks. He's almost like a Nomu. But that's a whole other issue, another problem. Right now, they have to deal with the immediate. Izuku Midoriya and One For All have gone missing. He didn't want to hold the kid's damn hand. Let him go prove himself. He's powerful. He knows that. He's able to do miraculous things. He saw the kid go from being a quirkless nobody who could barely use the damn power, who broke his fucking wrist trying, to becoming an enforcer, to becoming a soldier, reliable, dangerous. Him dismissing Kami. It does appear he may be able to trust her. Then again, he doesn't know how the future may change now. He hates using his ability this way. But it is necessary. Especially now. If they're expecting a war with Endeavor, they need to be prepared. If they're expecting things to go badly within, what was it? Maybe months, a year, hopefully 2. That does mean a lot. Come on, kid. You have a powerful ability. Get out of there. Come back to them now. He knows he gets back, but he doesn't know what may change in him. He can't let him be a reckless cannon. Can't let him lash out. That is the biggest issue. Gran Torino is out there searching. And that is another thing. He brought the old man in to train that kid. But the kid might need to do some healing. He's paid enough contribution to the family for the next long while. He doesn't really need to do missions. It won't be bad if he does take time to heal. Maybe figure things out? No. If he's not good mentally, they'll need to put him in a position where he can mentally recover. He can't let him fall astray. Unless that's what he would already do in the future. Unless he's setting... No, don't. Don't think like that. Don't make orders, make recommendations. Or would he do that? Or would he make recommendations in the first place that would turn into orders, sound like orders? No, Night-Eye, stop. Give them liberty and freedom. Don't get involved. No. Limit. This is why he hates this damn ability. Night-Eye trying to go over it in his head about what he should and shouldn't do. Delegate the task? Perhaps. That might be the best way to make sure it may go as best as it can. Designate someone to make the decision for him. It's out of his control then. Then things may divert. Things may change. And if that's the case, maybe for the better. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.